Video time again. So far since I've been here, I've met and they're residents too, just like myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm staying in a shelter. Why is it? Why is it at shelters you'll always find the richest people in the world? I mean, so far I spoke with two people. One dude was the vice president of the corporate building of the Bank of America. Huh? The other dude, no, he don't need to be here. He got money coming out his ass. But he's waiting for the subsidized housing. But he don't need it. He don't need it. Nor does he need a job because he's got money coming out his ass. But if you got money coming out of your ass, what do you need subsidized housing for if you're not taking advantage of a program? So those are some questions that I always get a kick out of. Then you have the authoritative ones. I walk through life and I do my best to mind my own business. Because I realize sometimes if yes, I'm opinionated. That's why I make my videos. Because see, I'm talking to my own reflection here. And in talking to my own reflection, I'm running the risk of offending only myself because I'm talking to myself. But if I were to run outside and be opinionated or express some authority that I thought I had that doesn't exist, I'd be running the risk of pissing some people off or instigating some ignorant people next to me. Example, one gentleman, well, he was right. I went and checked on it. Yeah, correct. But, I didn't need to hear it. But in doing so, in responding the way I did, it triggered this other fella. That's twice, little fella. Third time, I'm throat putting the shit out of you. I don't give a fuck. I spent 10 years on the streets, 14 in prison. I don't give a fuck. So sometimes we all have to be careful in what our ego says we're allowed to do. Because if I listen to my ego, I'd be a serial killer. Can't say I haven't been accused of that either. So there's my thoughts for the day. My mistakes as well. See, I share my mistakes. And another thing that I'm just really, really bothered with. Why is it on Tuesdays? Tuesdays and Thursdays. Even in Oklahoma and Missouri. Tuesdays, you want to hear somebody just give God the birdie. On a Tuesday and Thursday, have somebody give the Lord's Prayer. But they'll tear that up on purpose. Because in their little secretive world, that's a way of flying the birdie to God. Ignorance. It's not flying the birdie to God. It's showing everybody else you're ignorant. You don't know the Lord's Prayer. Anyways, just thoughts for the day. Probably have some more later this evening. But I'll see you in the morning.